Hello everyone, I am Sarita Rawat, Assistant Professor, School of Pharmacy, Suresh Kanvihar University, Jaipur, Rajasthan. Today we will start our next lecture of microbiology, and today's our topic is problem of antibiotic resistance and rational use of antibiotics. Now, learning objective of today's lecture included what is antimicrobial resistance, why antibacterial resistance is a concern, how antibacterials work, mechanisms of resistance of antibacterials, Indians Indian scenario of anti resistance, NGM, strategies to concern resistance, treatment of some resistance bacterial infections, and summary. Learning outcome of today's lecture. Upon completion of this lecture, you are able to know about mechanisms of resistance of antibacterials, strategies to concern resistance, treatment of some resistance bacterial infections. Now, introduction. So, throughout the history, there has been a continual battle between human beings and multitude of microorganisms that cause infection and disease. Talking about the history of antibacterial or antibiotic, so the Nobel lecture December 11, 1945, Sir Alexander Flamingo, he won the Nobel Prize in Physiology of Medicine. So in 1945 Nobel Prize lecture, Flamingo himself warned of the danger of the resistance, and it is not difficult to make microbes resistant to penicillin in the laboratory by exposing them to concentration not sufficient to kill them, and the something has occasionally happened in the body, and by exposing this his microbes to non-lethal quantities of the drug make them resistant. Now, this is the timeline of antibiotic resistance. So, as you can see, antibiotic development and their resistance. So, in sulfonamide in 1930 to 1940, penicillin is in 1940, streptomycin 1943, and then also there are lots of we have lots of antibiotic and their resistance timeline. Now, why resistance is a concern? So, resistant organisms lead to treatment failure, increased mortality. Resistant bacteria may spread in the community, and low label resistant can go undetected. Added burden on the healthcare cost and threatens to return to the pre-antibiotic era, and the selection pressure also there. So, talking about the drug resistance, so the drug resistance occur in bacteria, antibiotic resistance, endoparasites, virus resistance to the antiviral drug, fungi, cancer cell. Now, talking about the antibiotic resistance, so the concern of the drug at the site of infection must inhibit the organism and also remain below the label that is toxic to the human cell. Now, antibiotic resistance defined as a microorganism that are not inhibited by usually achievable systemic concentration of an antimicrobial agent which normal doses schedule and or fall in the minimum inhibitory concentration, that is MIC range, and antibiotic resistance is equal to MIC upon MCC, which is more than the toxic plasma concentration. Now, as you can see, the normal antibiotic applied to the death and the mutant survives and continues to reproduce and produce offspring that resistant antibiotic used to treat it. Now, the myths and antibiotic resistance. So, when we talk about the myths of antibiotic resistance, so the drug antibiotic cause organism antibiotic resistant. Antibiotic resistance organisms are more virulent. Now, the truth about the antibiotic resistance is antibiotics select out the resistant strain. Faulty use of antibiotic or widespread use of antibiotic increase the probability of such selections. Antibiotic resistant strain appear to be more virulent because we cannot kill them or stop their growth. Now, this is the mechanism of action of antibiotics. So, as you can see, cell wall synthesis by the vancomycin, penicillin, and in the cell wall integrity, beta lactamase, DNA synthesis, and then we have DNA kinase, and then RNA polymerase, which caused by the rifampicin, then the translation, and then cytoplasmic membrane. So these are some example of the antibiotic and their mechanism where they work. Now talking, you can see the mechanism of antibiotic resistance. So it is intrinsic, natural, and acquired by the different method like genetic method, which include the chromosomal method or mutation, and the extra chromosomal method that is in the plasmids. Now, antibiotic resistance, some microorganisms may bond resistance, some achieve resistance by the mutations, or some have resistance thrust upon them by the plasmids. Now, intrinsic resistance, it occurs naturally by the lack of target. So, no cell wall initially resistance to the penicillin. Then another causes initiate efflux pumps. So that include the drugs that blocked from the entering cell or increased export of the drug does not achieve adequate internal concentration. For example, we have E. coli and P. aeruginosa, then drug initiation, so drug inactivations, so which involved by the cephalosporins in Calabacilla. Then we have acquired resistance. So acquired resistance include mutations. So it refer to the change in the DNA structure of the gene, and it occurs at a frequency of 1 per 10 million cell. For example, Mycobacterium tuberculosis, Mycobacterium lepra, and MRSA. So it often mutates, has received susceptibly. Now, when we talk about the plasmid, so plasmid has extra chromosomal genetic elements and which can replicate independently and freely in the cytoplasm. Plasmids which can carry genes resistance are genes are called R plasmids, and these R genes can be rapidly transformed from one R plasmid to another plasmid or to chromosomes. So much of the drug resistance encountered in the clinical practice is plasmid mediated. Now, talking about the mechanism of resistance and gene transfer. So, the transfer of our genes from one bacterium to the another by conjugations, transductions, and transformations. Then another by the transfer of our genes between plasmid within the bacterium. So, it is by transpositions and by the injections. Now, the transfer of our genes from one bacterium to another by conjugations included the main mechanism for spread of the resistance, and the conjugative plasmids make a concepting tube between the two bacteria through which plasmids itself can pass. The next we have transduction. So it is the less common method. The plasmid DNA enclosed in a bacteriophage is transferred to another bacterium of some species seen in the Staphylococci. Then we have next transformation. So it is the least clinical problem. Free DNA is picked up from the environment, that is from a cell belonging to closely related or same state. Now, mechanism of resistance gene transfer. So it include transposons are sequences of the DNA that can move around different positions within the genome of single cell, and the donor plasmid containing the transposons so co-integrate with the acceptor plasmid, and they can replicate during conjugations, and both plasmid then separate and each contain the R gene carrying the transposons. So as you can see, this is the Staphylococci enterococci. Now, next is the mechanism of resistance of gene transfer intragenes. So antigenes are in the antigron is a large mobile DNA can spread multi-drug resistance, and each antigron is picked with multiple gene cascades, each consisting of a resistance gene that attach to the small recognition site. Then these genes encode several bacterial functions which including the resistance and virulence, and they cannot prompt self-transfer. So as you can see in this picture. Now, next we have biochemical mechanism of antibiotic resistance. So it involved the prevention of the drug and accumulation in the bacterium. Also, the modifications and protections of the target site, use of alternative pathway for metabolic and growth requirement by producing an enzyme that inactivate the antibiotic. And the next we have quorum sensing. So as you can see, this is the picture of decreased permeability, so prone loss. So antibiotics normally enter bacteria cell by porous channel in the cell wall. So this is the antibiotic and this is the cell wall, and this is the interior of the organism. Now, decreased permeability, as you can see in this also the new channel and organism, interior of the organism. Then the next mechanism that involved is efflux pump. So efflux pumps is the cytoplasmic membrane transport protein, the major mechanism for resistance in tetracyclines. Some gram-negative bacteria inhibit the plasmid mediated synthesis of prion channel, which obstruct the influx of hydrophilic penicillin, for example ampicillin. So example, as you can see, ATP binding acids, major facilitator superfamily, multi-drug and toxic compound exporters, small multi-drug resistance transporters, and resistance noductions and divisions. Now, this is the structurally modified antibiotic target sites. Coming to the modifications protein of the target sites, we have resistance resulting from altered target sites. So these are the target sites and these are the resistant antibiotics. So target site, we have ribosomal point mutations, altered DNA guidelase, modified penicillin binding protein, streptopneumonia, mutation in the DNA-dependent RNA polymerase, which is M. tuberculosis. Then next we have resistance antibiotics, which we have tetracyclines, macrolides, and clindamycins. then fluoroquinolones, penicillins, and rifampicin. So there we have the target sites and the resistance antibiotic. So as you can say, the alter DNA kinase we have fluoroquinolones, then modified penicillin binding protein we have penicillins, then mutation in the DNA dependent we have rifampicins, and then ribosomal point mutations we have tetracycline, macrolide, and clindamycin. Now, as you can see, this is the antibiotic inactivation, inactivating enzyme target antibiotic. So this is the antibiotic, this is the cell wall, and this is the binding site, and these are the target sites. So this is interior of the organism. Now, by producing enzyme that inactivate antibiotics. So, inactivations of beta-lactam antibiotics by S. aureus and Gonorrhea H. influenza produced B-lactamase, which cleaves beta-lactam ring. And inactivations of chromophenol. So it is by inactivated by the chromophenol acetyl transferase and gram negative enzyme present consistively, hence higher resistance, and gram positive bacteria enzyme is inducible, and then inactivation of aminoglycosides, which involve inactivated by the acetyl phospho and adenyl transferase, and it present in the gram positive and gram negative. Now, use of the alternative pathway for the metabolic growth requirement. So, which include the resistance can also occur by the alternate pathway that bypass the reactions inhibited by the antibiotic, and the sulfonamide resistance can occur from the overproduction of PABA. Now, next we have drug and mechanism of resistance. So, the drug we have penicillin and cephalosporins, and the mechanism of resistance we have beta-lactamase, cleavage of the bacterium ring. Then the next we have aminoglycosides. So the mechanism of resistance included modifications by phosphorylating and adenylating and acetylating enzyme. Then we have chloromaphenicol. So the mechanism involved is modifications by the acetylations. Then next we have erythromycin. So the mechanism of resistance include change in the receptor by methylations of rRNA. Then next we have tetracycline. So the mechanism of resistance include reduced uptake and increased export. Then next we have sulfonamide. So the mechanism of resistance involve the active export out of the cell and reduced affinity of the enzyme. Then next we have quorum singling. So quorum singling is basically the microbes communicate with each other and exchange singling chemicals that we call autoinducers. And the autoinducers allow bacterial populations to coordinate gene expressions for virulence, conjugations, apoptosis, mobility, and resistance. Now, why named quorum singling? Singling auto-inducers from the signal microbe is incapable of inducing any such changes. But when its colony reaches a critical density, quorum threshold of the auto-inductions is reached and gene expression started. So QS signal molecules AHL and AIP and AI2 and AI3 have been identified in gram-negative bacteria. So AI2 and QS system is shared by the gram-positive bacteria also. And why inhibit quorum sensing? So it is for provide to be by very prompt method for the bacterial virulence inhibitions, and the several QS inhibitor modules has been synthesized which include AHL and AIP and AI2 analogs. So QS inhibitors have been synthesized and have been isolated from several natural extracts such as garlic extract, and the QS inhibitor have shown to be prompt virulence inhibitor both in vitro and in vivo using infectious animal model. Now, next we have Indian scenario for the antibiotic resistance. So, the Indian scenario included lack of community awareness, ability over the counter drugs, absence of central monitoring agencies. In infants, LRTI has taken over IMR due to diarrheal disease and due to the use of ORT. As pneumoniae, full resistance to the quatrimazole and still sensitive to the penicillin, macrolide and fluoroquinolines. Now, the next when we talk about the enteric pathogens, so we have Vibrio cholerae. So, Vibrio cholera is the resistance to the florazolidine, quatrimazole, nalidixic acid, tetracycline remain ineffective. Now, coliforms, it is the ASBLS extractive resistance to the beta-lactam antibiotic and intrinsic fever. Now, in STDs, it is in the penicillin and fluoroquinoline resistance is widespread to the Gornia, and alternate drug like azithromycin and the cephalosporins should be used. Syphilis is still susceptible to the penicillins. Now, next we have gram-positive cocci. So, it includes streptococci. It resistant to the tetracycline and macrolides at 40% and still sensitive to the penicillins. Then we have Staphylo aureus. So it is methicillin resistance 50% to 100%. Then vancomycin resistance also increasing. Then next we have mycobacteria. So mycobacteria is basically the multi-drug resistance, which is combined resistance to the rifampicin and isoniazid, and it is extensively drug resistance tuberculosis. So additional acquisitions of resistance to a fluoroquinone and one of the three injectable second line drug, which is capreomycin, kanamycin and amikacins. Then it has a steady raise in the patient. Now, what is NMD1? So basically, the NDM is one is stand for New Delhi beta lactamase, an enzyme produced by the certain strains of bacteria that have recently acquired the genetic ability to make its compound. And the enzyme is active against other compounds that beta-lactam ring like penicillins, cephalosporins, and the carbamazepines. Now, the bacteria that produce NDM1 resistance to all commonly used beta-lactam antibiotics, which including carbapinamines. Now, when we talk about the New Delhi Metallobacter lactamase, why everyone concerned with this? So, talking about the NGM, so there are currently no new drug in the research pipelines, so that aim to stop NGM1, and to date, some strains of E. coli and Calabacilla pneumoniae and are non-carriers of the gene, but the gene can be transmitted from one strain of bacteria to the another, though, so which is horizontal gene transferase. So for example, we have one bacterium contains a plasmid to be transferred, so which is chromosome and plasmid, and then a concentrations form and the plasmid copy, and then both bacteria now contain the plasmid, and then the recipient may even integrate the plasmid into its chromosomes. So that's how it grow. Now, naming the stain as ND New Delhi creates controversy. So, the gene was named after New Delhi, the capital city of India, as it was the first described by the Young et al. In 2009 in a Swedish national who fell ill with an antibiotic resistance bacterial infections that he acquired in India, and the infections was unsuccessfully treated in New Delhi hospital, and after the patient repetitions to Swedish, a carbaphenamine resistance Klebsiella pneumoniae stains bring the novel gene was identified, and the author conducted that new resistance mechanism clearly across in India, but there was few data arising from India to suggest how widespread it is. Talking about the treatment, so mainly NDM first stains are resistant to all antibiotic except for colistin, and colistin is an older antibiotic that has not been used much in recent decades because it is somewhat more toxic than other antibiotics. A few NDM first stains have been sensitive to triglycerin, and that is Tagesil, but this agent should be used cutaneously in serious infections because it does not achieve high level in the bloodstream. A few stains have also been sensitive to the azithromycin. Now, the spread of NDM first can be continued with the spread of NDM first within healthcare facilities can be curbed through strict infections control measures and including the patient isolation and hand washing also. So stop wash your hand before starting work, after using toilet, after any work break, and when solid by work before putting on the clean gloves. So, strategy to contain resistance, so develop new antibodies, bypass the drug resistance, and judicious use of the existing antibiotic contaminant of the drug resistance. Now, new antibiotic resistance. So, only 15 antibiotic of 167 under development had a new mechanism of action uh, with the potential to combat with the multi-drug resistance. So lack of incentive for the companies to develop the antibiotics. So as you can see, decline antibiotic approvals past 25 years. So this is like declining by year to year. So as you can see, the highest rate in 1983 to 1987 and the lowest rate in 2008 to 2009. Now, these are, as you can see, in 1930s, so sulfonamide came. In 1940s, aminoglycosides and beta-lactamase came. And in 1950, chloramphenicol and tetracycline, macrolide and glycopeptides came. And as you can see, the newest antibiotic we have is oxylajodandines and cyclic lipopeptides. Now, hope it is not exhausted here. So phage therapy is next therapy. So used of the lytic enzymes found in the mucus and saliva. Agents that target type 2A topoisomerase and antimicrobial peptides, lipopeptides, target the bacterial membranes, making it nearly impossible to develop resistance. So, which is bacteria would have to totally change their mechanism, membrane composition. Now, the alternative approach for that, we have the phage therapy. So, the phage therapy is the therapeutic use of lytic bacteriophage to treat pathogenic bacteria infections. So, bacteriophages are virus that invade bacterial cell and disrupt the bacterial metabolism and cause the bacterium to lyse. And then the bacteriophage therapy is an important alternative to antibiotics, and the success rate was 80 to 95% with few gastrointestinal or allergic side effects. So, British study was demonstrated significant efficacy of phage agent Escherichia coli, Enterobacter species, and Pseudomonas species, and Staphylococcus aureus. So, efflux pumps inhibitor also involved, and some newer antibiotic we have like linezolid target 50 as ribosomes, then tigraslin target 30 as ribosomes, then daptomycins that is depolarization of bacterial cell membrane, dalbavaccins so inhibit the cell wall synthesis, then talvaccins which is inhibitions of the cell wall synthesis and disruptions of the membrane barrier functions, then talking about the judicious use of antibiotics, so it can only contain the antibiotic resistance and cannot eliminate the possibility of antibiotic development as a resistance in an involuntary process. Then contaminant of the resistance. So contaminant of the antibiotic resistance is a multi-pronged program and involves all stakeholders like physicians, patient, and pharmaceuticals. Now, the factor of antibiotic resistance. So, we have the drug related factor, environmental factor, and prescriber factor, and also the patient related factor. So, these collectively go through the antibiotic resistance. Now, the huge population and overcrowding, rapid spread by the better transport facility, poor sanitations, increased community adequate resistance, ineffective infections control program, widespread use of antibiotic in animal husbandry and agriculture, and as mediated cleansing product are some another way of antibiotic resistance. Now the drug related factors when we see, so they are over the counter availability of antimicrobes, counterfeit and substandard drug causing suboptimal blood concentration, irrational fixed dose combination of the antimicrobes, and shoring use of antibiotics are some another way of drug related factor. Then patient related factor are poor adherence of the drug regimen, then poverty, lack of sanitizations and concepts, and then lack of education, self medications, and misconceptions. And prescriber related factor, inappropriate use of available drug, increased empiric poly antimicrobial use, overuse of antimicrobials, inadequate dosing, and lack of current knowledge and training. So the strategy of contaminant involved antibiotic resistance, evolutionary process, and the faculty use of antibiotic, faulty use of antibiotic in hospital and in environment. So hospital acquired antibiotic resistance and environmental are community acquired antibiotic resistance. So which is unparalleled use of the antibiotic before pathogens responsible for a particular illness or the susceptibility to non a particular antimicrobial is known, and the defensive use. Now, poor clinical practices that fail to incorporate the pharmacological properties of antimicrobial and amplify the speed or development of the drug resistance. Then, faulty antibiotic use, antimicrobial over prescribed and available with prescriptions. Without prescriptions, then over prescribed antibiotic clinicians should first determine whether antibiotic microbial therapy is warned for a given patient. Then empirical microbial selection. So is antimicrobial agent indicate on the basis of clinical finding, or is in the prudent to wait until such clinical finding become appropriate? Then imperial microbial selections can also some simple bedside test done to the confirm or suspensions. Then next is having appropriate clinical specimen have obtained to establish a microbial diagnosis. Then also, what are the likely etiogenic agent for the patient illness, and what the measures should be taken to protect individuals exposure to the index case to the prevent secondary cases, and what measures should be implemented to the prevent further exposure. Then empirical microbial selection, it their evidences from clinical trials that antimicrobial therapy will confirm clinical benefits for the patient. So evidence-based medicine should be followed. Then defensive treatment are can a narrower spectrum agent be substituted for the initial empiric drugs. Then defensive treatment is one agent or combination of the agent is necessary. Example, we have beta-lactam and aminoglycoside, extended spectrum penicillin, beta-lactamase inhibitor, anti-tubercular regimen, anti-leprotic regimen, quatrimoxazole, and sulfadoxine plus pyrimethamine. Now, the defensive treatment include what are the optimum dose, route of administration, and duration of therapy. Then definitive treatment involve what specific tests to identify the patient who will not respond to the treatment. So, what adjuvant measure can be undertaken to eradicate the infections like vaccinations, steroid, drainage of the pus, amputations, and removal of catheter? Then whose work is this? So microbiologist and physician. So microbiologist is responsible for bacterial sensitivity test and finding out the possible cause of development, and the physician is responsible for the treat infection. Then the microbiologist is for the advise the poor and adequate antibiotics with the balancing the economic of hospital pharmacologist and also physician. Now, hospital acquired drug resistance, so hospital antibacterial policy and hospital antibiogram, hospital specific antibacterial resistance pattern include the identifications of potential pathogen most likely to cause infections, previous antibacterial therapy, and prescriptions adapting. Prescription auditing, and also the hospital antibiotic policy to curb the common misuse and overuse of the antibiotic resistance, the occurrence of antibacterial resistance among the hospital stays, control the spread of such infections to susceptible and circulatory ill patient in the hospital and the critically ill patient in the patient and hospital and subsequent infections into the community, and save money for the patient and increase the patient satisfaction with decreased side effect. Now, the hospital antibiograms. So, a periodic summary of the antimicrobial susceptibility of the local bacterial isolate submitted to the hospital clinical microbiology laboratory and used by the clinical to assess local susceptibility rates as an aid to in selecting antibiotic therapy and in monitoring resistance trends over time within an institution. Now, these are the treatment options for selected highly resistant bacteria. So, when we talk about the organism resistance and antibiotic used, so we have the organism E. Facilis. So the resistance, it is resistance to the penicillin. So the antibiotic use should be vancomycin, ampicillins. Then we have the E as epidermalitis. So the resistance agent is methicillins, and the used antibiotic are vancomycin, rifampicin, and gentamicin. So these are some examples. Like as pneumoniae, so it is resistance to the penicillin G, and the antibiotic used are ceftriaxone and cefoxitamine, and vancomycin and rifampicin. Now, these are some another agent like E. coli. So the resistance agent are quatramaxol or cephalosporins. And then antibiotic that are used nowadays are phosphomycins, nitrosphorin. Now, in our hospital antibiotic gram positive for gram positive bacteria, the first line drug are penicillin, oxacillin, amoxicillin, and gentamicin, cephalosporin. Now the second line are vancomycin, ofloxacin, clindamycins. Now for the gram-negative bacteria, first line gentamicins, amikacins, and cefaxolin they are used, and the second line are we have caftaclave and tobramycins. Now for the MRSA, the topical fluocidic acid are used, vancomycin used, and rifampicin used, sulfaroxacin used. For P. aeruginosa bacteria, piperacillin is used, amikacin is used. Now, what's the message we can take home with us? So, target defensing therapy to known pathogen, treat infections, not contaminations, treat infections, not colonizations, know when say no to vancomycins, carbamazepines, and cephalosporins, IV, generations. Then isolate the pathogen very well, break the chain of contagion, and keep your hand clean, and start simple bedside test, gram stain, and microscopy. Now, we have concluded some questions regarding this lecture, so you can easily go through these questions and go through the lecture and get your answers. So the question include, why antibiotic resistance is a problem? What can we prevent antibiotic? How can we prevent antibiotic resistance and keep antibiotic working? Why is it so difficult to prevent the spread of drug resistance in bacteria? How do you treat antibiotic resistance? How common in antibiotic resistance? Is antibiotic resistance permanent? How can we reverse antibiotic resistance? What are some examples of antibiotic resistance? How do you test for antibiotic resistance? And what happens if UTI doesn't go away with the antibiotic? Now, these are some references that are taken for this lecture. So, the pharmaceutical Hugo and Rosell, Pharmaceutical Microbiology, Backwell Scientific Publications, Oxford, Prescott, L.M. Harley, G.P. and Callan, G.A. Microbiology, 3rd edition, V.C. Brown, Publisher, Oxford, Pharmaceutical Microbiology by Dr. N.K. Jain, and some informations from the slides here. So you can definitely check out these references for further knowledge. And today we have studied about the antibiotic resistance and the drug that cause resistance, and how can we overcome with the antibiotic resistance. So when we talk about the history, so Alexander has Sir Alexandro Flamingo got a Nobel Prize for that work. And then we have studied about the timeline of antibiotic resistance. So and why the resistance is a concern, like we need to concern about it. So we have studied about that. Then we have studied about the drug resistance and antibiotic resistance. So, and then we have talked about the myths of antibiotic resistance, and then the truth about the antibiotic resistance, mechanism of action behind the resistance. So it may be the intrinsic or natural and the acquired genetic method, and chromosomal method and extra chromosomal method. Then we go through the intrinsic resistance, acquired resistance, and then plasmid, mechanism of resistance, gene transfer. And then we have studied about the mechanism of resistance, gene transfer in enterograms. Then biochemical mechanism of resistance. Then we have studied about the drugs and mechanism of resistance of that particular drugs. Then we have studied about the Indian scenario. Also study about the new antibiotic development. So the newest antibiotic we have is cyclic lipopeptides. So then we have also talk about the factors of antibiotic resistance. So antibiotic resistant factor are environmental factor, prescriber related factor, patient related factor, and drug related factor. Then we have also studied about the hospital acquired drug resistance. Then we have studied about the treatment options for selected highly resistant bacteria. So this is all about today's lecture. So I hope you got your all answers of the quiz. And thank you for today's lecture. Thank you for kindly listening to me.